welcome to Hanging Out with Heather. I'm your host, Heather Lehrman, and today's my very first show here at Madhouse TV. I'm so excited to be here. Just a couple of things. I know a lot of you have been following me on Facebook, so you know today we have a Secret Word of the Day contest, and a lucky caller is going to win 2 free tickets to Adventureland. So when you see that secret word pop up on the screen, you'll see the phone number, be the first to call and get the secret word, and you will win 2 free tickets to Adventureland. I also want to give a very special thank you to my favorite clothes boutique called Impulse Boutiques that gave me this beautiful dress to wear today. I wanted to thank them. They are a big supporter of the show, and I love shopping there because they treat you like family. After you go one time, you come back, they know your name, they know what you like, they know your style, and they'll dress you for any event. So please stop by at either their 2 locations, Port Washington or Greenport. Today we have a great show. We have Last Hope Rescue. I have amazing guests, amazing animals, and amazing stories, so let's get to it. Here with me now is Joanne Anderson. Hi, Joanne. She's the outreach coordinator of Last Hope Rescue. And Joanne, you are a huge part of Last Hope Rescue. You guys started in 1981, and it's your 35th anniversary. So we have a special logo that we wanted to show everybody. How did you get to 35 years?
Last Hope has always been quite unique. It's always been on the cusp of what was happening in animal rescue when the public was unaware. So when it started 35 years ago, it was basically in the Huntington area with 2 women who would go to Huntington Shelter and realize that the dogs had a very limited amount of time. So at that time, they coined the phrase death due, and those were the dogs that they took, the dogs who were out of time. And they also were rescuing cats at that time, but all of their homes were foster homes in people's houses at the very beginning, which foster homes are hard to find, and often when you have a foster home and it's wonderful, they adopt the pet and you've lost the foster home. We call those foster failures. And then from there it went to boarding pets that needed homes at vets, which is a very expensive way to go. And then there were the pet retail stores that allowed space for cats. So it grew over the years, and then they started renting space in vets' offices or boarding dogs in vets' offices, and it's hard to show them there because you have to work around the hours of the veterinarian. And then we had a cat center in Huntington and a dog center in Lindenhurst. The cat center was in Huntington for about 10 years. The dog center was part of a vet's office in Lindenhurst for 5 years. And then we had this absolutely incredible opportunity to lease Bidewee in Wantagh after they closed it in 2008. So it took quite a while to convince them that it would be a great thing to lease out the adoption center. So we've been there for 5 years. We have our dogs and cats together, and we've grown from the 2 women to 250 dog volunteers, at least 100 cat volunteers, and people who do other jobs like fundraising. So we have close to 400, 500. Everyone's a volunteer.
And I always say that they're not volunteers, they're actual heroes for rescuing these animals, because you're going to hear some amazing stories today about some rescues, where you rescued them from and why and how, and they're incredible stories. And I also wanted to mention that you are in Bidewee in Wantagh, so you can go down to Wantagh for adopting pets, and you also have centers in other places.
Yes,
like
we have our dog and cat main center is in Wantagh, in the adoption part of Bidewee. But we have 5 retail stores where we have cats. We have 2 Petcos, the one in Wantagh, the one in Syosset, 2 PetSmarts, the one in Huntington Station by Walt Whitman, and the one in Belmore, the new one in Belmore. And we have a Petland Discount, which is not far from here in North Babylon in Sunset City. But we also have the opportunity to move cats around. You know, if they're not getting, it's like shuffle them. If they're not getting adopted in one spot, we can move them to other locations, and then they have adoption events. We're allowed to bring dogs to the PetSmarts and the Petcos. So they get to be showcased at another spot too.
So how long have you been with Last Hope?
I've been with Last Hope about 12 years, but I've been doing rescue for 35 years, with various groups and independently.
So it's been your-
But I've always known about Last Hope, and I always was vicariously following some of the things they were doing, because I was more of a South Shore person and they were more of a North Shore person. But we crossed paths when the president of Last Hope started coming to Babylon Shelter and taking dogs and cats that I never thought would get a home out. A kitten whose neck was practically severed. A dog, an old dog that had been left in a motel when the man disappeared. Dogs that, like I said, didn't have a chance in creation. And then I said, I have to help them because they're helping the dogs and cats that I'm helping.
And that's why
And
I
that's how
call
I became a Last Hope volunteer, because
That's
of
why
that.
I call you guys heroes.
Yeah.
And we have Sue Butts here, who's been a volunteer for 5 years with Last Hope.
Yes,
And you have your special therapy dog, Timmy. He actually has 3 legs,
yes.
and he's a Lhasa Apso. Tell us
that's right.
about Timmy, and I know he does special programs. You do them together.
Yes. Well, Timmy came from Last Hope Animal Rescue. He was
From
a
Babylon
rescue
Shelter.
from Babylon. He had a very twisted, broken leg, and it was not repairable. So they had me volunteer. I volunteered to take Timmy and foster him while he had his leg severed, removed,
And
amputated.
this is a picture of, I don't know if it'll show up. but
Yeah.
This is a picture of, it looked worse when it was first done. Once the hair grows, it doesn't look bad, especially in a short-legged dog. So this is how it looked.
And
It looked like a sampler, somebody
Yes.
was learning their stitches.
Stitching.
Yeah.
Well, Timmy was a good boy before, but when he came out of the doctor's office, he was just exuberant, and I couldn't figure out why. And I guess it was because he didn't have the pain that he had with this bad leg. So after that, I took him to a program called Pet Partners through Bite-A-Week, and Timmy and I both learned how to behave ourselves in schools and libraries and nursing homes and other places. We've gone to colleges for Stress Busters, which is just before exams. The students are allowed to come in and pet the dogs, so Timmy loves that. Timmy's favorite, I found out, is working with elementary school children. He loves big classrooms full of children, and he goes to everyone to make sure everybody has attention. And he also loves special needs children, and he's very tolerant with them. And he's very, very good boy. You see what a good boy he
The
is.
little girl who didn't speak.
And yes, we had a little girl who couldn't speak at all, a little Down syndrome girl. And by the time her time was up with Timmy, she was signing dog in sign language when she saw him. So it was really wonderful. I had no intentions of adopting Timmy, but when I saw what a wonderful boy he was and how happy he is, then I couldn't not adopt him. So he became my I was a foster failure, of course.
Right, but I think it was less than a week after he got out of the hospital, we took him to the Syosset High School volunteer fair.
Yes.
And I mean, he's been invited to some unusual things, like the grand opening of Macy's in Bayshore. And he posed with Miss Teen America. Like he's done
famous.
he's done things that are so far from what Lasas are supposed to do. But both of us are retired teachers, and it's not just about making the kids feel comfortable. It's so much about showing kids that you can have a disability and you can still have an incredible life.
Yes.
And that you can overcome that disability. And actually, because of that disability, he's the dog that he is.
Yes,
I mean, in a way, it's made him special.
I spent 6 years in special ed, and with Timmy, we go places and the children see that even though it looks like he has a disability, he runs, he jumps, he does everything that any other dog could do. So what he looks like is not what's on the inside and what he's capable of doing. And it really gives hope to a lot of children who realize everybody has some sort of a disability.
So if people want Timmy to visit them at schools or Macy's grand openings, how would they?
Macy's
how-
closing store, maybe they'll have him come to the closings.
Do you have a, do they
Sure.
just go on your website, or do
Sure.
you have a
That-
program listed?
Well, if they go on the website, they will find a hotline number, and they could call the hotline number and say, we would like Timmy to come visit our school, or we would like to have a dog come visit our school, and we will arrange that with the upcoming school year. We do a lot of brownie troops.
We're doing one tomorrow.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
brownie troops,
right.
Cub Scouts, Boy
Okay.
Scouts.
And the website lasthoperescue.org.
.org, right.
So go to lasthoperescue.org and ask for Timmy if you want him to visit you.
And he's an ecumenical dog. He's been to
Temple.
He's been to
St.
Catholic
Aidan's.
school.
Mhm.
Yes, he's been all denominations. He will go anywhere.
That's great to know. And you also worked with special needs groups and
Yes,
He does the library.
Mentally-
He does the reading programs where kids read to him.
yes.
Yeah.
And yes, children with special needs. Yep.
He's gone to a lot of schools in Sue's district, and if she's seen in the neighborhood and Timmy's in the car, now she was the music teacher for
25
years.
years.
It's Timmy. It's Timmy. It's not their music
Right,
teacher.
right.
It's Timmy
Right.
that they see. So
Of
it's like
course.
he's we're the people on the other end of the leash are often invisible.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
but
And
it,
that's
I know.
fine because I
it's
love
fine. Let it be
Yeah.
that
we
way.
know the dog's name. I own
Yes.
a dog walking pet sitting company.
Okay.
I know every one of my clients' dogs' names.
That's
Yes.
right.
I do not know their name unless I check my phone.
Right.
But I say, oh, Bella's mom?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what
Right,
I say.
right.
Oh, Chelsea's mom. Oh,
Right.
Tommy's mom.
No, but they do. It's almost like groupies.
Yes, Timmy.
Yes, so
It's
Timmy
dance
is famous on Long Island.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
He's Last Hope's ambassador dog.
Yeah, that's what we call him.
Good.
Yeah.
Great to know.
Yeah. 'Cause
If we
use him
ever
to
need
rep-
Timmy for any special occasions.
Special, sure.
Yeah.
He'll be there.
And
And our outreach coordinator, Joanne, will arrange that.
yes.
Right. No, we do. We decide if it's easier to go to him or like the BOCES animal care classes come to us, and some of those kids are special needs kids.
Yes.
And they do. Sue has another disabled dog that they hear about also. So they're as good as gold.
Yes.
The BOCES kids. They
They are.
really are when they come to us. It's
Very
like they-
kind-hearted.
Yeah, they really are. And it's a very nice thing to see that they're in the animal care program. You know, they might not be vet techs, but they'll be taking care of animals, and that's what they love to do.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a great cause. All right, well, Sue, thank you so much for bringing Timmy.
No, it's our pleasure.
We have more dogs to bring out and more
Okay.
special stories, so we're going to take a commercial break,
You finished.
say goodbye to Timmy, but again, go on lasthoperescue.org. If you want Timmy to come visit your school, your Girl Scout troop, your grand opening, your anything,
Macy's, we cursed Macy's.
call the hotline.
Oh, yes.
Did you want to say something, Sue?
No, it just, the Macy's, after they said they're closing 100 stores, we weren't a good luck charm.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Well, we hear the dogs queuing
Yes,
that they want to
wanna
be
come
on.
next. Our Timmy's time is up.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Timmy, it was great meeting you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So-
we're going.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hog's hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
And we are back with two special guests, Kathy Balabanek and her kitten Nigel. He's 5 years old and ready to adopt. And he has a twin sister, Martha, who's also available to adopt. So Kathy, tell us all about Nigel.
Oh, he's fantastic. I don't know if you can hear him purring, but he's fantastic. Look at him. He's enjoying himself. He was found in someone's backyard, and they brought him to Last Hope, and he's about 6 months old only, and his sister's a lot smaller. She looks like she's 6 months old. This guy hasn't missed a meal, so.
Yeah. His head's even bigger than hers.
I know. Yeah, his eyes
And-
running a little from the air conditioner. I'm sorry.
You've been with Last Hope for about 7 years. You
Yes.
started out walking the dogs, but now
Correct.
you work with the cats.
Yeah, and I
Um,
still walk the dogs.
And I thought this was very interesting, that you wanted to bring attention to the plight of black cats.
Yes.
They don't get adopted as much as any other cat. Tell us why.
I don't know why. Do you, Julian?
Yeah,
I honestly don't.
First
I
of
love
all,
them.
mathematically, more black cats are born than other colors. A solid black cat is very common. A solid white cat's very, very uncommon. So they tend to get adopted fast. So there's that. There's the fact that they're not photogenic. They can have beautiful eyes, but unless their eyes are open, you almost need to add another color in the picture, like put them on a pretty blanket or something to make them show up. And then there's the superstition.
The
There's
superstition.
the superstition about black cats, which is, goes back to Salem and the witchcraft. And a lot of shelters overcompensated by saying we won't adopt any black cats or kittens out at Halloween. So what they wound up doing at municipal shelters was putting them to sleep. And it wasn't just Halloween. Then it would expand to the whole month. And studies have been done by the ASPCA that the chances of somebody coming to a shelter and taking a black cat for devious reasons are extremely rare. So they really were penalized as far as adoptability because of that. So most groups and even municipal shelters are no longer saying we're not going to let a black cat leave and especially because we all screen the people, and the town shelters do too. But they and tortoiseshells do not photograph well. Where you get, most tabbies will take a great picture, and most orange cats will take a great picture. And it's very, unless you have a really good photographer to get it. And black dogs too. The same thing happens with black dogs, except that there's no superstition with it. But, and the thing is that he's a little bit bigger now. He's next to two black kittens that are much smaller, so he's in competition with them, but he does not stop purring, which is just amazing.
so
It's
good.
amazing, yeah.
So
yeah.
we want to get Nigel adopted
We
today.
sure do. Yes, we
And
do.
his twin sister. Are they in foster homes right
Yes.
now, or at the
No,
adoption
they're at
center?
Last Hope. Yeah.
Okay.
At Last
So they're
Hope.
both down in Wantagh. We want to get them adopted. So what if they're not photogenic?
Right. It only matters from our point of view trying to find them homes. Once they're in a home, everybody thinks their pet is the most beautiful pet in the world. But it's
Exactly.
getting somebody to notice them beforehand. That's a little bit harder to do with the black cats.
That's
and-
true.
Now, Kathy's husband is a member of the Long Island Vets, and that's where I met you.
That's right.
I was a vendor there, and it's great that you are the beneficiary for the last 4
Yes.
years, and all vendor fees go to Last Hope
Yes.
Rescue. So that's fantastic.
you
From the
know.
car show, from the
Yes,
car
and
show, yeah.
It's
Yes.
the Long Island Vets Car
Yes.
Show, and
Right.
that's why I did it. I always like to come to any fundraiser with
We appreciate
rescue and
Yeah.
volunteer groups.
Right.
And I want everyone to know that this is all volunteer.
Yes.
There's only a few paid people that work for Last Hope out of hundreds and hundreds.
And it's primarily the veterinarians.
Exactly.
That's where most of our money
Yes.
goes.
Veterinarians.
Yeah.
More than
But well
rent.
deserved.
Yeah.
As well.
But then there are
Yes.
plenty of things vets do for us pro bono,
Yeah.
too. So it depends on what we're doing,
And
but-
you're always looking for volunteers. If
Yes,
somebody
and
wanted
we're
to volunteer.
always looking for cat volunteers, more so than dogs. Right now, we have it's uneven, 250 dog volunteers, and if we're lucky, 100 cat volunteers, and we have more cat locations.
So if you
Yeah.
love cats and you want to be a volunteer,
We'll
contact
always,
Last
yes,
Hope.
we're always looking. And we take children as young as 12 with their parents for the cats, and children as young as 14 with their parents for the dogs, you know, and it's a great family thing. You see people walking dogs where they have 2 leashes or 3 leashes coming from one dog. It's like reverse Macy's Day Parade, the balloons, because the lines go down to the bottom. But it's really a nice family thing to do. And kids go to college, their parents continue to volunteer, and the kids will come home from college and vacations, and it's really so nice to see
It
them grow
is.
up with us, right?
It's true.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
speaking about cats,
Yes.
I think it was so amazing when I found this out that you are the official Kitty Bowl team. You have your own cat and kitten team called the Lions, and you're the official Kitty Bowl team on the Hallmark Channel. We have a
Yes,
couple of
we are.
pictures to
Yes,
show. How
yes,
adorable
yes.
is that?
Yes.
Yeah, our
That's
kittens
fantastic.
are filmed when they're the kittens are filmed when they're about 7 or 8 weeks old. And then the show, that would be like, say, November. The show's not on until February. So usually the team is adopted by the time it's on television. You know,
That's
but-
wonderful.
yeah, but,
And now you're also in the official summer games on national TV.
yes, we had the judges. Our adult cats were the judges
Yeah,
in the summer
we're
games
really
last
lucky.
week.
We're really
You know, it was
So
up against
I needed to
opening,
know, how did you form the Lions? Did they actually try out? How does it work? How does it work?
Actually, we have this wonderful, wonderful connection. The president of the Hallmark Channel and Crown Media is he's a Last Hope cat volunteer for many years. He's an advocate of feral trap neuter return. He does trapping. So he is so fond of cats that he made sure we had a team, because it's all the rest of the teams were North Shore. And it's like being the underdog, even though it was cats,
Yeah.
because they're the biggest shelter in the world, as opposed to us, who's just a small grassroots group.
How many dogs and cats are you sheltering right now?
We have the capacity for 20 dogs, and at Wantor, we could have 80 cats if we wanted to. We have many more waiting in the wings in foster homes, maybe 100. And then we have the cats in the stores. The biggest store is the Huntington PetSmart. We held up to 20 cats there. We probably have about 100 cats on the waiting list now. It's the high point of kitten season now, so it's the hardest time of the year from now until the end of October for a cat or a kitten to find a home, because they start to be born at the middle of April, and it starts to slow down after Thanksgiving. So this is the hardest time to find a home.
This is true.
Yeah. And it's a shame, because everybody's doing everything. We're testing them, we're spaying, neutering them, they're microchipping them, so are the town shelters. So they're in competition with each other, because there's so
That's
many.
right.
You know, there has to be something that brings that person to that cat.
And I know that your major mission at Last Hope is to neuter and spade, which you have a program,
Mhm.
so that we don't overpopulate
Right.
anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
because besides these wonderful cats that are tame and can find homes, there's thousands of cats that have never been handled in time that will stay feral. So we have the Fix a Feral program. We have lots of programs to try to control the population. We have half-price vouchers. We have free. We did a proactive program we never did before, where we did 350 free feral spay neuters at the beginning of the year, hoping that these are cats that would have been pregnant. That was from a bequest to us. We use that money for that. And then we do free mass clinics where vets volunteer their time, and vet techs. We do from 25 to 100 cats in a mass clinic. And if they're tame, they're pulled out and they're put up for adoption. If they're not tame, they will go back to the colony with a caretaker. But
And-
every one of these could have multiple litters. They could have 4 litters in a year.
Yeah.
They could start having babies at his age.
Yep.
His sister could have already had a litter if she's
Right.
5 months. You know, and they can get pregnant while they're nursing. So it's really, really the thing is to make, and then they're much calmer, they're much more manageable when they're in the colonies and they are spayed and neutered.
No
Yes, you
biting.
have
not
amazing
for-
programs. You also give rabies shots.
Yeah, for that, we have, twice a year, we do a program where it's open to all pet owners on Long Island. You don't have to live in Montauk. And we do free rabies shots. You don't have to show a need, and it's open to anybody who wants to come, as long as they live on Long Island. Dogs and cats we do.
So know that you could go get a free rabies shot.
Yeah,
at
the next time we'll do that, it'll be in
Adoption
October.
Center. In October, so if you
And we
need
did
dogs needs a
have, we did
rabies
have
shot.
rabies in Hicksville this year. We did have
Yeah,
a case, so it was much more important to do so.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Every dog should have their rabies shot.
Right.
Well, it was so great meeting Nigel. Let's get him adopted today,
Yes.
everybody.
I can't believe, he's still purring.
I hear him
He's-
purring.
he's
He's
still
purring very
purring.
loud. He's so cute. He's such a good cat.
Perfect.
Right, and it's like, what separates him from other black cats? The fact that he'll be your best friend.
He really will.
Right.
I highly recommend him.
Right.
He has a little bit of white.
Yeah.
Yes.
And will he be with
Do.
you anywhere outside of the adoption center? Anything
We
you're doing?
rarely take cats because
Okay.
they don't handle adoption
Yeah.
events well.
Yeah.
And they don't handle even being outside in the heat well.
Yeah.
So, and we have such lovely venues, we don't have to
Right.
move them around.
So just
he'll
go
be
down
at
to the
Last Hope.
adoption center, Last Hope,
Yeah.
and
With Martha.
go down. And he has a twin sister, Martha.
All right.
You could get 2 for 1.
Right? And we're having an adopt-a-thon over this weekend, and our fees are lowered. So,
Yes.
he would be $50
Well
for
worth it,
everything
well
done.
worth it. Yes,
With
he's all,
everything
he has
done.
his
Everything
temper
done.
shots, he's neutered, he's been dewormed,
Right?
whatever he needed.
Right.
The full
He
shebang.
has a college
Right?
education.
Yes. If we could, we would.
We would, if we could do that, we would. Yes. He has a degree in engineering.
Hey, my husband does too.
You're perfect. You are.
So, well, we want to thank you so much
Look
for
at
bringing him
Thank
out.
you.
Thank you,
He's
Kathy.
looking, he's
Thank
staring at
you.
you adoringly.
Thank you.
We're going to take
Thank
another
you
quick
so
break,
much.
and we're going to bring out a special dog named Henry with 3 legs.
Oh, yeah.
He's another special therapy dog. Wait till you meet Henry.
Yeah, he's perfect too.
So we'll go to break. See you in a minute.
Thank you, Hannah. Well.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin. Galaxy.
You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks. Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
I will take him. I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight. Right? Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is going to laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right?
Hi, everyone. We're back with another special guest, Karen Barry, and her super friendly coonhound, Henry, another 3-legged therapy dog. We just want to say hello. Hi, Karen.
Hello. How are you?
Hi, Henry. And I want you to tell us all about him and start off with why he wears those purple booties on his feet.
Henry has his purple booties due to slipping on the floor from his 3 legs, so that gives him some traction to run around inside. Outside, he doesn't need them.
See, this
Runs
would be
around like
fine,
you'd
but
never
it's
know.
tile, right, and
It's
wooden
tile
floors.
floors.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
nursing home is that, so we.
So how long has Henry been a therapy dog?
He's been working at the nursing home for
For
about
6 months,
6
right?
months now.
Mhm.
He goes once a week, and they love it. The people love it. It inspires them. He has the 3 legs. They notice, and once they notice it, they're inspired a little bit more. It's a high amputee.
Yeah, there's a dialysis unit, so there are resident amputees, and there are also people who come in for their dialysis treatment that he runs into. So he sees a lot more people who are missing limbs than in a regular nursing home. And there's a woman who's 107, who's missing a leg, who loves dogs, who mostly speaks Italian. The first time she noticed, right,
Yes.
the happiest can be, we can wake her up from a nap, and she's a big smile on her face. And he loves her. The only time she shoos him away is if she has cake.
Yes.
Because no one
Yes.
no one gets in the middle of when she has cake. She loves sweets. But they have a special bond. There's the other woman, the 102-year-old woman.
102-year-old.
Yeah, quite a few people who are missing limbs gravitate towards him. They don't even have to say something. It's like a bond, and he talks to everybody
He
too.
does.
He's talking right now.
Yeah, he's talking. Yeah, he does. But
Henry, what do you want to tell everybody? So you go to one particular nursing home
Yes.
and you go other places with him?
Just the nursing home, but he does come to work. I run a dog grooming shop, and he comes to work almost every day.
Oh,
And
okay.
greets
Where's
the
the dog
dogs
grooming
there
shop?
in Comac.
What's the name of it?
Tails Are Wagging.
Okay, so you could always visit
Oh,
Henry at
yes.
Tails a Wagon.
he's talking.
He is talking. He wants to be on camera.
Yeah, he also has a reason to come to the nursing home. One of the recreation people loves him and rewards
Yes.
him with 1/3 of a pound of boar's head roast beef every time he's done. So he knows when he's approaching the 3rd floor, it's time for his paycheck, and there's no stopping him, right? And she's very generous. He also gets the happy hour cheese.
Yes.
That's left over from so he's absolutely thrilled
So
about his job.
if Henry's not at work with you, he's at the nursing home.
He's at the nursing home, or he's on the couch at home.
What does he
But,
like
if,
to
If it
do?
weren't for Last Hope, he wouldn't have this.
He's
this
one of our
opportunity.
transport dogs. He was hit by a car on Christmas Eve in Kentucky in front of a firehouse. So we're assuming somebody from the firehouse noticed him. And his leg was amputated because it couldn't be saved. And Karen adopted him and said, you said when you adopted him, you wanted
To
him
make
to
him
work
a
with
therapy,
disabled
yeah.
veterans.
Yeah.
So this is, that might be his next
Good.
stop to do
Yes,
that.
yes, we need that.
Yeah.
Henry wants to be back in the room with his friends, I
Right,
think.
Does
but
he?
he's
Yes,
a red bone coonhound, which are relatively common down south for hunting. And he's about 2.
He's about 2 years old.
Yeah, so he was young when that happened.
Well, thank goodness for the rescue and adopting him.
Yeah, it's a completely different kind of therapy work from Timmy. Timmy's
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
He's the older people, and they tell him they love him. One lady wanted to marry him,
Yes,
right?
someone
Yeah.
wanted to
He
marry
has
him,
very
yeah.
interesting relationships.
A lot of fans. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, we want to get to our dogs that are up for adoption today. So it was great meeting Karen and Henry.
Thank you.
If you want more information about him, go on the website, or you can go on my Facebook page. And we will be back in a few minutes.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
You smell so good, I won't have to bathe the next 2 weeks.
Yay!
Anything. So, here, laugh a little harder. All right?
I will take him. I would be proud to show you off, you little old weirdo man.
Get a new sweater. The worst dressed man here tonight. Right? Look, get that laugh, and get it in there tonight because nobody else is going to laugh like her. She's under drugs, all right?
And we're back, and guess what time it is? The bell's ringing. It's time for Secret Word of the Day. A lucky caller, call that number on the screen right now, and you will win 2 free tickets to Adventureland. Tell Vicky your name and address, and I will send them to you as long as you have that secret word. Come on, caller. We're waiting for you. Don't give up 2 free tickets to Adventureland, or I'm going to be using them this weekend. Okay, while we're waiting for a caller, I want to introduce 2 very important dogs that are up for adoption right now, right away, down in Wantar at their location, 3300 Beltah Avenue in Wantar. So let's start with Ruby the Beagle.
Ruby's as new as you can be. She just came to us yesterday. She's one of our Long Island dogs. All Last Hope dogs come from municipal shelters, either on Long Island or from southern states where there's so many adoptable dogs that would never find homes. So she's a Long Island Beagle from Babylon Shelter. She was a stray found in West Babylon, Wyandanch border area, not claimed. And we get a lot of beagles right in this area by the studio, over by Comac Road, off Comac Road by Edgewood. But she's not one of those. And those are discarded hunting dogs. So we even have discarded hunting dogs on Long Island. She's about a year old, between 1 and 2 years old, loves people, likes other dogs too. So we haven't really tested her with cats because we just got her, but she's, and she'll have everything done. She'll be spayed, she's heartworm tested, they're inoculated, they're temperament tested, all kinds of things. Are vaccinated, right? How was she in the car, Stacy?
She was great, not a peep.
And Stacy, how long have you been with Last Hope?
Almost 2 years. So I do volunteer, walk the dogs, I do some home checks, and then in the last year I started doing transport. So I meet the cargo vans with the dogs that come from either Kentucky or Virginia, and then I bring them to Last Hope. So.
And she does it by herself. And very few people do that by themselves, so she's really a trooper.
Just pack the van.
Yeah, she's very good, because it's hard to do it by
Yes,
yourself.
I know.
Because the big worry is, will a dog get away from you?
Right.
And it can happen.
Or be aggressive, or...
Right.
Well, we do crate them in
Right.
there, and they get along. I just face them all towards me and face them towards each other so they don't feel alone. And they've had a long trip, but they do really well. And then as soon as we bring them to the shelter, they're checked, weighed, and processed. So.
Are you getting most of your dogs from
It
South
was
Kentucky?
50-50, and now it's almost tipping more towards the transport dogs because we have people waiting for them when they come in. They know when we get our transport dogs, and we have people who check every Saturday when they're there. Like as if it's like the pizza delivery, right? It is, but we really do. And they, depending on the hounds, we place a lot of beagles. We call ourselves the unofficial Beagle Rescue.
Yeah.
But we do
A lot
place
of
a
people
lot.
want
Look at
small.
that face.
Yeah, she's a tricolor.
And they're a
with
nice
ticking.
size,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So a lot of people want a
Yeah.
medium or a small size
But
dog.
she's a Long Island Beagle.
Yeah.
But she looks exactly like the others. Beagles come in 2 sizes, so she's the small size. But, no, but we was more so. Our problem in all urban areas and suburban areas are that the poor pit bulls are in competition with each other, and the shelters are full of them.
I know.
And even when we take them, it's a good 6 months when we do take them, before we even find a home, and we can showcase 1 or 2 at a time, and it takes us the longest time. But the other dogs will go in
Very
a heartbeat.
quickly.
You know,
Yes.
and it's not that we let them go in a heartbeat.
I
'cause there's
know.
a- You know, there's a big.
There has to be more information and education out there on pit bulls, because I know there was just a horrible story the other day. Unfortunately, this man got arrested, which he should have, for training pit bulls to
Fight.
fight and
Right.
kill.
Right.
And-
There are only dogs that are reproducing on Long Island now. It used to be 30 years ago, there were collie mixed puppies and shepherd and lab mixed puppies. The only puppies you see are pit bulls. So the programs that will stop people from having them breed are the programs that'll work. But it's so hard to do because it's a cottage industry, because they sell people who are doing it for the wrong reasons, are
Right.
selling the dogs to each other and making money.
Right.
So if you pay them to neuter their dog, and you can pay them to neuter their dog, they'll just go get another dog.
Yep.
So those programs aren't
Yep.
working. And free transportation's not working. You know, there has to be another way to convince them that you can't let these dogs be on chains in their backyards.
No.
You know, chained to an ATV is their life, you know, and
I
it's
know.
not. And the ones that are in the shelters are in the Plaza Hotel compared to the ones that are living on
Of
chains.
course.
And
Absolutely.
they know it. The dogs know
Of
it.
course.
They're happy in the shelter, you know.
Well,
'cause
they
it's
get
better-
walked
Yes.
several
Yeah.
times a day.
They have
They
people
get
who love them, yeah.
they get socialized. They get
Yeah.
fed
Yeah.
treats. So it's
So it's such a, you know, it's such a shame, because it's, what we see in the shelters is just a tip of the iceberg of how many poor pits are out there that have a terrible life, you know, and they're.
And they do get a bad stigma
Yes, they
to
do.
them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they could be the sweetest dogs
they're a really
in
good
the world,
breed. Yeah.
but they have that stigma on them, and there's that case once in a blue moon
Yeah.
Yeah.
that ruins it for everyone.
Yes,
Right.
it does, yeah.
We want to get Elise over here.
Okay.
We want to
honey,
show
stand
Elise.
up. Elise is, come here, sweetie, stand up. Elise is one of our transport dogs. She's from a cruelty case. We have cruelty cases everywhere.
Listen to this
Her
story,
cruelty
everyone.
case is a bit unique. A man in Kentucky put 20 dogs in the trunk of his car because he thought he was going to be able to sell them for drug money. And I guess it wasn't a good product, because then he took them home, and as he was unloading them, because he had them chained in his yard, that's where he was arrested at home. So she's one of the 20 dogs that was, she's a Feist. A Feist is a regional variety, very close to a Jack Russell, but bigger. They're very common down there. You don't see them here, except for some of the puppy mill stores sell Feist puppies. But it's like you took a Jack Russell, smooth Jack Russell, made it a little bit bigger, very active. She would be probably a good agility dog, you know, because she's active and young, you know, and she's a sweetheart, and we've had her a while.
And what
Yeah,
kind of
but-
condition did you find her in?
Well, they weren't emaciated, but they were thin when they found them. The group that we work with, that she came from in Rowan County, Kentucky, got them healthy before they transported them. I think she was one of the last ones to leave. But, you know, I don't know if any died in this particular case. You know, we've had other cruelty cases from there where we got the dogs that survived, you know, that they would hand them off to maybe somebody in their 90s and they wouldn't know to feed them, and they would, by the time the authorities got there, some dogs are dead. But that happens here too. You know, it happens here also. It's not just Kentucky. But look at her. She's
Where do
a
you
little-
find that you're getting the most dogs from on the islands?
We have a very good relationship with Babylon Shelter. We have a good relationship with Hempstead, our next door neighbor, so those would probably be it.
Brookhaven, too.
And Brookhaven. Brookhaven, there are certain dogs, they'll call us out. I'm a 30-year volunteer at Babylon Shelter, so it's a little bit different there. I pretty much say, I want that dog, you know, and so most of the time we
They
get
know
it.
which ones
Yeah, they know
move,
what we
yeah.
like, you know, and they will call us about certain dogs. Oyster Bay doesn't need our help because they only have maybe 12 dogs at a time. But they'll call us when they need to, so we take from them also.
So
And-
when there's a big problem like Superstorm Sandy, I know everybody got together, everybody brought them in, brought in all the animals. So in case of an emergency,
Well, case of emergency, it worked out well. On our property, they call it the Bidewee campus, are the women who do the pet safe, who are the women who are in
Yes.
charge of that. So, and they do all the lectures out of there. But also, Bidewee has this enormous basement, so they were all able to house dogs temporarily. And I mean, Hempstead Shelter, they were there overnight. Our people were there overnight. We had more help. We helped more people with cats than we did. And Nassau County had the most incredible shelter with Mitchell Field, thanks to Nassau SPCA and Gary Rogers. That worked so beautifully. There were dogs there for 4 to 6 months. It was April when the last dogs left, and the last 10 pits went to a rescue in California.
And
When you think about that, right? Our
And-
pit bulls went to California.
I want to remind people that with your own pet, you should always have an updated photo of you and your pet, because if it ever gets lost and goes to a shelter, you need to come in and they need to identify you, and you should have a picture of you and your pet.
They can also microchip them.
Right.
And yes, of course, get the microchip. There's so many free programs now. Right. But in case of an emergency, if somebody had to get your dog out of your house, make sure you have a picture of you and your dog. Or a
She's
pet.
less than 5.
Yeah, her
She's a baby. Because they said she's 5. She's not 5. She's more like
She's-
2.5,
She's definitely young, yes.
Yeah,
and
she's
her
a
teeth
baby.
look good.
Even now,
So-
she wanted to eat this.
Elise, Ruby, and Nigel the cat are all up for adoption, so please contact Last Hope Rescue. Go on their website, go on my Facebook page. They're all up for adoption right now. Elise wants a good home.
Right
She
away.
definitely needs a
She
new home.
likes to be under the wing chair, so.
We want to find them great homes.
She wants a home with a
Whether
wheelchair.
you have to start as a foster or can adopt right away. Go on lasthoperescue.org and go meet these adorable animals down at the adoption center. And that's
We're getting her in trouble. Oh, you had to do that.
All right, guys.
That wasn't the trunk of the car.
And that's the sound of a beagle.
Yes, you have to like that. Stop.
It's okay, guys. Well, thanks for bringing out the dogs,
Thank you.
Stacy. And nice meeting. Oh, she's so friendly. Yes.
You had to do that.
We're gonna shout out the number one more time for somebody to win, that lucky winner to win 2 tickets to Adventureland. So what's that phone number? 631 669
Stop.
7999. So call now, it's your last chance.
Eat that. That was Blade.
All right, well, Joanne.
Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
Okay, we're back, and I'm here still with Joanne Anderson from Last Hope Rescue. Joanne, I wanted to mention a fun fact about you. You also write a column for the Babylon Beacon since 1983. And you have a column. What do you write about?
It's a shelter rescue column is how it started, but it's sort of mushroomed into anything dog, anything cat, or animal. And when I was offered it, I said, I'll try this for a few weeks, and it's been over 33 years. So but it's a way of, no one knew where our town shelter was, so it was a way of making people be aware, bringing the shelter to them by having pictures and dressing the dogs up or dressing the cats up. And years ago, it was Polaroids. You know, you use Polaroids, and
they're back. The Polaroids are back.
Yeah, you use them, but you would go through like $20 worth of film until you got a picture that you liked. It wasn't like digital, so we've come a long way that way.
And I wanted to mention that you worked in the Westminster Kennel Club press room during live broadcasting.
Yes, and I mean that's one of the things that the column has brought me to, and it's just unbelievable because my job during the broadcast is to hand the announcer, who was David Fry for 27 years, the card on each dog with the interesting facts about each dog. So he would talk about the breed, but we had a Vizsla that ate 2 carats worth of diamonds that won the breed 2 years ago, and that was a story that we loved using. And we had a Nova Scotia duck-toling retriever who had discovered the woman's cancer, and she had just finished chemo, and she was handling that dog that night, and she won the breed. So I mean, there's all extremes of incredible stories with the dogs. And now that they have agility, there's many dogs that are rescues. So there are great rescue stories at Westminster also, which is nice.
Well, we just got the 3-minute mark, so I want you to just tell me anything you want to share with about Last Hope. Anything else important to know?
Okay.
I did want to just ask you one question. Somebody who's been looking to rescue a dog that's never done it in their life, that's never been a pet owner, what's your advice?
My advice is to talk to somebody who has done rescue, so you don't walk into a shelter and walk out with a dog that you're not suited for. If you're talking about dogs, do your research first to find out which type of dog matches your lifestyle. So you don't have like a dog like a sporting dog, like say a Vizsla or a Pointer that needs a tremendous amount of exercise, and you don't have the time to do it. So to educate yourself, even to go to dog shows just to see what's out there, even if you're looking at mixes, the components of the mix are important. But to bring somebody with you who knows dogs too, there is that connection. Often there is that instant connection between you and a dog. But the problem is if you're a first-time owner, rescues can be very snobby about first-time owners because they don't want their rescue dog to be with somebody who's not experienced. So you have to convince them that you would be a good home.
Yes.
You know, that's sort of like a catch-22. We want a home for the dog, but we have all these qualifications that we want the home to have.
And I was going to say just quickly, what are the
please do not give up and just go to a pet store.
Right.
Because by doing so, you're just perpetuating the trade, the puppy mill trade. Well, they want somebody who has a fenced-in yard. They want somebody who has the time, but they want somebody, I mean, there are dogs that are tougher than other dogs. There are some dogs that are great first-time owner dogs because they are mellow. That's what you need, a mellow dog. You know, not something that you're going to need to spend your life training.
Yes.
You know.
And of course, because I own a dog walking, pet sitting company, don't get a dog if you're never home.
Right.
That's what they pay me to do is to walk their dogs because you're not home. But if you're never home, do not get a pet, please.
Right.
I see it way too often.
Right.
So I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you
This
so
was
much for having
amazing
us.
to have you here.
Thank you for
are a
having us.
wonderful organization. Please check them out, lasthoperescue.org. Go down to the adoption center in Wantua, and please adopt these pets that are available today. Ruby the Beagle, Elise the Feist, and Nigel the black cat with a twin sister, Martha. They're all up on my Facebook page. Please like Hanging Out with Heather on Facebook. You could also find information on your website.
And our Facebook page.
And their Facebook page.
And we're on Pet Finder also.
And Pet Finder. So again, I thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here, bringing the animals and educating people.
Thank
It was
you
a
so
great
much.
show.
Thank you. No, thank you. And I love the dress.
Thank you.